Welcome to the Live Your Truth channel. I am Justina Evondra. First and foremost, I need to apologize, you guys, because I have not been consistent with uploading my videos. I had a lot of videos recorded, and I went to put them on YouTube, and then I was having technical difficulties between like saving them through my Dropbox and then putting them on YouTube. They deleted, and I just hadn't had the time to sit back down and re-record. So now I have a little time. I'm still new at this. Ooh, let me fix my shirt. Y'all like my shirt, y'all? I think it's cute little shoulder action. I hadn't had, I'm sorry. I'm still new. Lost my train of thought. I'm still new at the YouTube lighting and all that. So you have some suggestions, just put in the comment as far as like if you can't see me in the lighting or you can't hear me. And so just be patient. I'm learning. So the last time I posted a video, it was a short clip about what happened on Valentine's Day, what my child's dad did or did not do. Okay, so I'm just gonna recap. Just because there was the last little short clip I posted, so I'm just gonna follow along in their order and posting videos instead of jumping around. So just to recap, my dad, he has always gotten me something for Valentine's Day. And since Caitlin has been born, he gets her something for Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's morning, he came and got us, he gave us a gift. And it was a balloon and a box of candy. And after he gave us the gift, he left and went to work. And then my daughter asked the question, is my dad, she just wondered if her dad was gonna get her anything or he was gonna call her and wish her happy Valentine's Day. And so to make a long story short, he didn't. And because he didn't, she felt disappointed and she felt like he didn't care. And so I had to deal with it. And the bottom line is this: when you are okay, so I am 31. I just turned 31. I had a birthday Sunday, March 25th. Yay! And so Caitlin is 12. And so I got pregnant with Caitlin when I was 18. I had her when I was 19. Actually, when I graduated from high school and walked across the stage, I was pregnant and did not know. I found out I was pregnant when I actually was in college. So I graduated like May the 17th. And then I decided I wanted to go to summer school. So I left and I went to Mississippi State like May the 30th. And so, I didn't know I was pregnant. Didn't have a clue. And I was ready to start my life, get out here, go to college, do what I need to do so I can get my career started and live this bum life that I had all planned out and figured out for myself. And so one morning I was getting up, getting ready to go to the class, and some friends that I had made that we're still friends today. I love my girls. I would have not made it through their first year college experience being pregnant without them. So I love them to pieces. Okay, so I was getting up going to class. They came and they knocked on the door. I opened the door and like I had got dizzy, and then I started throwing up. So they were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I had some crackers in the room, so I kind of ate some crackers. But then I started feeling lightheaded, like I was gonna faint. So they was like, "Maybe you shouldn't go to class today." And I was like, "No, I'm going to class." And they was like, "Okay, well, after we leave class, we're gonna go to the student union." And so like the medical building that's on campus. And so I was like, cool. So we go to go sign up. We see the doctor, and I'm telling him like I'm not feeling good. I'm throwing up. I'm dizzy. All my symptoms. So he asked me, "Is there a chance you could be pregnant?" I'm like, "Oh no sir, like I'm just sure, not me, no." And so like he said, "Well, take a pregnancy test anyway." So he was like just running everything, running blood work, pregnancy tests, trying to see if I had a flu, maybe I just had some germs because I'm first year college students away from home, not used to the environment. And so he came back and he was like, "Well, do you want to have kids?" And like it didn't even register to me. Like, I didn't even think, like, why he asking me a question? Like, it didn't click, it didn't register anything at all. So I was like, yeah, but in the future. And so he was like, well, the future is now, congratulations. And you guys, I sat there and I was just like, had this like blank stare in my face, and I'm like, really? Like, I was in denial, like I didn't believe it. So anyway, he gave me some, he said that I was not feeling well because I need to take these prenatal vitamins. But in the way they gave me the prescription of the vitamins, it was just like in a pill bottle, but like it didn't have prenatal on it, so nobody really knew what the vitamins were. So like I came out of the doctor's office and all my friends sitting around and they're like, are you okay? And like, y'all, I didn't believe what he was saying, and I was in shock. So I was like, yeah, the doctor just said my iron low. And they was like, oh, okay, cool. And they was like, so that's what, he gave some iron tablets. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, I just went on like that man didn't even tell me I was pregnant. Okay, so one weekend I came back home and I was still friends with one of my friends from high school. We're not friends now, but we were friends then, and we were real close. And I told her what happened, and she was like, do you think it's a chance? And I was like, well, girl, I don't know. And so we went to Family Dollar and we got a pregnancy test. And so in Memphis, we were, okay, so I was back in Memphis. Mississippi State was in Starkville. So we got a pregnancy test, and I took the pregnancy test. And I can't remember if we was at her house or my house, or we went in the bathroom or a restaurant. But anyway, we was driving down Winchester. So I got the pregnancy test, and I couldn't believe it. And so we just threw the pregnancy test out the window on Winchester. And so like she was like, so what are you gonna do? So I was like, oh my God, I don't know, blah, 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 woo, all that. Okay. So my child's father, the person I was pregnant by, I called him and I told him. And you guys, he was happy. He wasn't, tripping about it. He wasn't upset about it. He was just like, oh, oh, okay, cool. You're like, it's all good. It ain't no issue. So, his response, that actually did, kind of, help me not, not kind of panic or freak out about it. And so, this is the Live Your Truth channel, so I'm just going to keep it real. So, we had a conversation about abortion, and then we just decided, with our family and his family, and, that just wasn't the route that we wanted to go down. Okay, so we decided we was going to keep the baby. Okay, I couldn't tell my parents. I couldn't tell anybody. So I just was going along acting like I wasn't even pregnant, y'all. I was gaining weight and everything. So I went to school. I went back to school, and he knew. But, he knew, and I think he told like one more person, and I had a friend who knew. But like a lot of people didn't know. But my parents didn't know. So I came home a couple of weekends later, and I was in my room changing, and my mom walked in, and she looked at me and she was like, dang, Justina. She was like, I heard the freshman 15, but you look like you didn't gain the freshman 30. What's up? So I just kind of laughed it off. Ha, 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 ha. And so she closed the door and went down the steps. So, like, I put my clothes on. And so I walked down the steps, and my mom was like, Justina, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, what? And she was like, are you pregnant? Y'all, I couldn't lie to her face because it was on the tip of my tongue to say no. But I feel like if I said no and then I'm keeping this baby, like, she gonna find out about it. So I said, my sister was home. So my daddy was gone, but my mom was home, my sister was home. And my sister was in her room. And I came down the steps, and my mom was at the end of the steps. And when my mama asked me, I just said yes. Ooh, even to this day, I get teary-eyed thinking about how the reaction my mama had. You guys, this woman screamed like I never heard her scream in my life. Oh, she screamed and she bust out crying, and she was just like, why? And like she was like a deep, sorrowful sob. And so then my sister ran out her room, and my sister was like, "What's wrong, mama? What's wrong?" And so my mom was like, your sister pregnant. And so then my sister, she fell to the ground and she was crawling around. She was like, "Why? Why my sister? No, y'all." And I'm just sitting there, like, at this point, I'm getting like real emotional because seeing them like react like that. I mean, like, I figured that they were, were going to be upset, but I mean, I guess I really didn't grasp what their reaction would be. So like my mama is like screaming and crying and like, why my daughter? No, I don't want this life for her. And like my sister is like on the ground and she's like crawling around like a spider or something. She's like, "Hi, yeah." She's screaming and she crying, and I'm just standing there crying. And so like after they calm down, I called my child's father and I told him, what happened. And my mom was like, "I think it's best that you are gone, when your daddy get here." So my mama told my daddy. So I don't know what his initial reaction is, but I just know when I seen him, he was very upset. He did not talk to me for a while. He did not talk to me for a while. He was upset, to say the least. Okay, so my child's father, he came to pick me up so I could be gone by the time my daddy got home, and he, told, and my mama told my daddy. And so, like, at that point, he had already told his mama, I guess because he knew, my parents knew, whatever. So I come in the house, and, like, everybody in his house, like, cool beans, like, it's all good. Like, his mama come over here and rub my belly, and she was like, "Oh, I'm got a little grandbaby, blah, 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 blah." And she was, like, smiling, and she was cooking fish, and she was like, "You want some fish?" And, like, one of the friends from high school was over there, too, and, like, he was outside, and like it was like over his house, it was like a totally different atmosphere. It was like cool beans. Nobody wasn't tripping, nobody wasn't hollering, nobody wasn't crying. Okay, I'm not gonna say that my parents were tripping. That was, of course, the wrong word to use. They were upset, hurt, and disappointed. But like in his house, none of that was going on. They was just like cool sailing, like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Okay, so make a long story short, everybody knows I'm pregnant now. And I guess the word started getting out. And so I'm still in school. So I'm still, going to school and come home on the weekends. And because I hadn't started going to the doctor, to check on the baby until after that. So, I'm coming back and forth. And so, like, at the beginning of like finding out that I was pregnant on my child's father end was like a happiest, joyous occasion. And I started wrapping my, head around the idea because I was like, eventually I want to have, kids anyway. So, and like eventually, my parents, they accepted it. They, let their anger or their frustration and disappointment, they let it go. And so everything started to, become semi-normal. So this is a whole nother different video, but I'm just going to go with it since I'm already talking about it. So me and my child's father, we continue today. And so he's telling me all these dreams. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be a good father. You can depend on me. He going to have a conversation with my daddy. Talk about how he gonna step up to the plate and be a man, that they don't have to worry. Okay. So he joins the army, or apparently, because I was already gone from school, so apparently during that time that I was kind of gone, he joined the army. So it wasn't like we was gonna be boyfriend and continue to be boyfriend and girlfriend once I like left for college. But like since I was pregnant, okay, we better try to make something work, or, try to at least try. And so I guess he had, in that time when I had first left, he had joined the army. And so, like, he was like, he was getting ready to go to basic camp or whatnot. So he was like, tell him, "Oh, you don't have anything to worry." you know, I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna move to here. So, you know, I'm gonna take care of you and all this good stuff. So, you know, he was selling dreams, and I was buying them. I believed him. I trust him. So he left for basic training. And so when he left for basic training, the word started getting around town that I was pregnant. And so I just started hearing little rumors that he still was messing with what I assumed or thought to be was his ex-girlfriend. And so, like, in that 6 weeks of basic training, you can't, you know, communicate or talk on the phone. And then after a couple of weeks, you can start writing letters. So I started kind of hearing rumors. And so I wrote him a letter. And I was like, I'm, you know, hearing rumors that, you know, you messing with your ex-girlfriend, and it's a possibility that she pregnant, and you know what's going on. So he wrote me this long letter back, and he was just like, baby, we at a high school, and this high school chatter, and you shouldn't believe that, you know, people just saying that because you pregnant and she just wants your life and stuff. So, you know, just telling me all kind of bunch of stuff, just trying to discredit her to make me believe him. And so I did believe him. And so time go on. Okay, so one of my friends from high school, she was friends, because I can't say people's names. So one of my friends from high school, she was friends with one of the ex-girlfriends. She was friends. So my friend from high school was friends, had a friend that was friends with the ex-girlfriend. And so apparently the ex-girlfriend told her friend that she was pregnant, and her friend told my friend. And at the bottom of it, we were pregnant by the same person. So I'm sitting in my dorm room. So it's me and a few of my friends, and I'm sitting in my dorm room. And I was 5 months pregnant at this time. So I wasn't showing a lot, but, you know, I was showing enough that, you know, everybody knew I was pregnant or whatever. And so, like, I'm just like, oh, in La La Land, thinking, oh, everything gonna be okay. I'm gonna finish school, and at there, you know, it's gonna just ride on there. I don't have nothing to worry about. So I'm sitting in my dorm room with my homegirls. Okay, so my cell phone ring. And so my friend from high school, I say hello. I'm like, what's up, girl? She was like, hey. She was like, I really need to tell you something. And I'm like, what? And like I can hear like the distinctness, you know, like the urgency in her voice. So I'm getting worried, and I'm like, are you okay? Well, you know, what's going on? And she was like, I really need to tell you something. I need you to listen. And she was like, because the friend she was friend with, I didn't care for her. And so she was just telling me that she was finna get on the phone and so and so. So, anyway, all of us ended up on three-way, four-way, whatever. So the ex-girlfriend, she was like, I'm 6 months pregnant by my child's father. And she kind of laughed. Like, kind of giggled like it was funny. So, I said, what? At this time, my child's father was in the part where you could have your phone and start taking phone calls. So after I heard that news, y'all, I didn't jump to conclusions. I didn't automatically believe her, because, you know, I had asked him about this, and I'm like, surely he wouldn't lie about something this important. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna have to call y'all back. So as soon as I hung up, he called my phone, and I called his name, and I said, so and so. I said, what is going on? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Christian. But I ain't even gonna lie, in my conversation of addressing him, I did use some bad words, because this the Live Your Truth channel, so I'm just gonna keep it real all the way 100. So I was like, so and so. I can't remember if I said what the H or what the F. I mean, this is the truth. I said, it's going on. As soon as I said that, he bust out crying. When he busted out crying, I knew it was true. Yeah, I went off. I was screaming to the top of my lungs. I was just saying anything. I was crying. I was just an emotional wreck. My homegirls in the room, they like, oh my God, what's going on? Calm down. You know, we don't want you to hurt yourself with it. I hung the phone in his face. At that moment, that's when our co-parenting situation began. And because it began so nasty and so negative, whew, it has been a long journey. I'm now at a place of I don't care. And when I say I don't care is because this is what I have learned to, this is what I have grown to learn. You can't change a person. You can't make a person do anything. All you can do is what you can do. Pray for that person and do what you feel like is right. So that is where I'm at with my co-parenting situation with my child's father right now. We don't see eye to eye. We don't think the same way. We don't look at parenting the same way. If you ask him, he would tell you that he's a great father. If you ask me, I would say not so great. It just has been a nasty couple of years, and I can honestly say Caitlin is 12, so I can say it started kind of cooling off around about when she got 10. When I just really started, when I let a lot of stuff go, and I really started, just realizing like you just gotta let this go. You just gotta see the person for, just see the person for who the person is. And so, right at that moment, when I found out that I was walking around pregnant the same time somebody else was pregnant, is when I changed. And when I say is when I changed is because I became, y'all, I don't even know how my family and some of my friends put up with me. Because at that moment, something like clicked in me. I was ashamed. First, I was embarrassed. I was ashamed that I was pregnant. I was with somebody that didn't respect me enough that would have two people pregnant at the same time. I was disappointed. I was hurt. I felt betrayed. I was angry. I became bitter. And I was very nasty. And I was a hard person to deal with on top of being pregnant. And so I can honestly say, by the grace of God, my child was born healthy, and she's the happiest. I mean, she's the best kid, and I'm not just saying it because I'm her mom, but she's really a great kid. But at that moment, I changed. I wasn't like the loving, trusting, kind, funny, Justina that I had always been. And, through just like forgiveness and letting stuff go and just growth, I have, got to that point where I'm back to myself, or just better than I was even before that. But right at that moment, it became a nasty situation. And the reason it became a nasty situation is this. One, his mama knew the whole time. And I'm not saying that mama's supposed to be getting in people, somebody else's business. But when it comes to certain stuff, you just don't play games. You don't play those back and forth games. If you knew that, he had two women pregnant, you sit down and you tell your 18-year-old son, look, son, you playing with people's lives now, Then on top of that, my interactions with the girlfriend, which is now the wife, was not pleasant. And just like the journey and I'm trying to say this without just being ugly, because my intention is to help and just like let people know that, even though situations happen, you can overcome, but not to just, dog anybody out. And so, it became very nasty. And so I got off the phone with him, and like my roommates, they calmed me down. And they were like, what's wrong? And I told them, and I cried, and they consoled me. And then, y'all, like, the worst was, like, having to get on the phone and tell my parents. So I called my mama, or my mama called me and to check on me. And she was wanting to know how I was feeling. And she could hear that I was crying. And she was like, well, what's wrong, Justina? And I told her what happened. And her words to me was like, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but I'm not surprised. And so, from that point on, it came a whirlwind. So that's the first thing. So that was the first traumatic, well, I ain't gonna say traumatic, but I'm just gonna say that's just the first thing that happened to me that kind of like changed my world. I get pregnant when I'm 18. I have a baby when I'm 19. I go to college, my first year of college, I'm pregnant. And that's a lot within itself. Like nowadays, or you know, like for me, being on a college campus pregnant, you know, and it wasn't like a lot of people walking around pregnant, you know, that was like, it messed with my self-esteem a little. And so, dealing with that. Then finding out that my child's father, who, you know, was, you know, basically asking me to marry him and be a family with him, had somebody else pregnant. And then, like, finding out, like, his mama knew and people knew about it the whole time and just feeling foolish. So, that was the first, like, major adult. Because I think when you're 18, we have stuff going on in our life, but it's not major. So, that was, like, the first major adult thing that happened to me. And so, yeah. Now you can see why you should tune in. I have a lot to talk about. But I'm going to stop it here. And this is going to be like part 1. And then I'll fill y'all in on part 2. So, check out my next video. Keep y'all coming back. So, again, thank you for tuning in to the Live Your Truth channel. I'm Justina Evondra. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about my channel. Bye-bye.